EVGA died because of the fact that they couldn't keep up with Yeston. I'm about to send you a picture of an average EVGA graphics card. Here it comes.
Okay, so AIB graphics cards. I gotta put my headphones on. As you can see, this one here is from 2004, and there's 4 GPUs in this thing. Look how big it is.
This thing is so unbelievably cool. Dual layered graphics card with 2 different connectors on it, and yet appears to have 4 GPUs on it? Are you not interested?
There was a GTX 460 that Linus covered in one of his videos that was a wireless connection to whatever HDMI source or whatever you wanted to connect it to. Seriously though, there has been some crazy graphics cards way back in the day, but all that experimenting isn't in the past. That all still happens today, at least to some degree. You have to check this out. Also check out here this Galax card. Now, if I'm not gonna lie, just seeing it in this picture, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of stealthy, kind of clean. But this is a GTX 1070, right? Is a single slot. Look at that. Whoa. You're not getting that today. Now, the thermals on it weren't exactly that good. You can see it was at like 90 degrees. So I also check out from Hardware Unbox here with this colorful RTX 4090. Now, obviously 4090s are really expensive, so you can see some companies probably experimenting, doing some pretty weird niche things that nobody really wants. This guy has a screen. What? It has a screen. Guys, it has a screen on it, because this is a 4090 which came out in 2022. He made fun of this graphics card for having a screen on it, and this one he was making fun of it because it is a triple slot card.
Vulcan X, and holy balls, is that a 3-slot card?
Now we just have to talk about the overclocking cards, like the cards that are just built to absolutely throw as much power at it and have as much cooling headroom so that you can overclock the absolute crap out of your card. So there's this RTX 4090 from Galax that has 2 16-pin connectors, over 1 kilowatt of power. Just specifically, you see here, these are the 2 16-pin connectors, which are the 12-pin VHP connectors that were frying 4090s or whatever, because people weren't plugging them in right. So me personally, I'm kind of in this weird place about overclocking cards. So overclocking cards to this degree is really only a flex, because it costs so much to get there. They're extremely inefficient, and you have to do this crazy engineering to do it. But most of the cards nowadays look just something like this. It's not that crazy. This doesn't stop these AIB companies from doing some really cringy marketing. Now, I'm going to show you this here, and this is for motherboards, but this extends also to graphics cards.
The rest of the money for this expensive motherboard is spent on aesthetics. The word ROG is literally repeated so many times that we became semantically satiated. ROG, ROG, ROG labeling on the I/O cover under the Strix LED panel, accompanying the ROG, 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 ROG M.2 spreader labeling, like across the entire M.2 heat spreader. The slot above the reinforced quick releasable PCIe slot says gamers in big letters. We also get a nice and teenage angsty "for those who dare" branding on the lower M.2 slot.
For those who dare, gamers entering the unknown. Marketing is something, huh? You might think that, oh, he's done. Like there's nothing else to talk about with AIB cards, and that's where you're wrong, because there are still companies that are making some really weird, trippy stuff nowadays. Like look at this company. This company is called Yeston. Now, some of you might know who they are, but in the US, they're not that big. And you can just see a sneak peek of what this looks like. Yeah, let's see here. So this is the cat looking GPU. Maybe you've seen this before. Gamers Nexus did a pretty good overview of all these Yeston graphics cards. This one looks pretty goofy on its own. It's kind of like, you know, you might buy it. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. So there's definitely some sort of a market for this little cat one. But what we're actually talking about here is this one in the middle. And I just want to mention too, it has a 6 shroud. Look how cool this shroud looks. But then you flip it over on its back and you see a waifu. A waifu whose eyes are a little far apart. It definitely, the proportions don't quite look right. We have to insert anime waifus into every single piece of technology that we possibly can. They have to be everywhere. And that is what sells. You know it. I know it. We all know it. So here we are. Now, the cooling performance on this card was pretty good. So like it really didn't have that much to complain about overall. So it's kind of like you're buying it definitely for something. Is that my friend actually owns this thing and I want to ask him what he bought it for. So let's see. So I heard that you own this graphics card, this Yeston RTX 3080. Why?
You didn't say it right. It's Yeston Sakura Hitomi 3080.
Did I wait, did I disrespect you?
No, you didn't disrespect me. I'm just quite shocked that you're disrespecting the card in such a manner. And then mind you, I'm not even mad. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm hurt that people question the integrity of such beautiful things. They're really unique and interesting cards, like they're the epitome of gloriousness, the precipice of what design should be. The fact that people want to compare these cards, Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, EVGA. EVGA died because of the fact that they couldn't keep up with Yeston. I'm about to send you a picture of an average EVGA graphics card. Here it comes. The character on the card, Sakura Hitomi, she's relatable. While standing tall, nothing can destroy the card. There's some people talking really, really bad about how, oh, the eyes aren't even. Shut up! Your eyes ain't even. You look like a Smurf. Your eyes are too close to your nose. If you look at Yeston's other cards, they're quote-unquote quappy. They're quappy 5700 XT. Does your graphics card got a Sakura Hitomi, the Yeston specialist, with her katana out, ready to duke it out with any graphics on the back of your card? Best part of the card is not the anime girl, not the fans, but the RGB. RGB pushes gaming to its pinnacle. In my opinion, I think Yeston is 100% carrying gaming on his back. Yeston only wants to make progress. The fact that it's $1,099.99 and I got it for the low price of $654 plus a $100 rebate, meaning around $570, only means Yeston's trying to make progress. One of those is not even 1/8 of an Asus ROG card. Mind you, when you think of a graphics card, what company do you think of? No, what country do you think of?
What country? Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah, you think of Taiwan, you think of China, you think of that bull crap. Yeston is teaching you about Japan's morals, their values. Opening the eyes of so many people. A Japanese woman standing her ground against a mainly Taiwanese-based service.
This is turning into a geopolitical drama.
It's not geopolitical. You know what it is? It's me standing up for the underdog. You have any more questions?
No, sir. You hit the nail on the head.
I didn't hit the nail on the head. I took the nail, threw it out, grabbed the drywall screw, grabbed the impact drill, and went, it's in there. So give Yeston a chance, bro. That's all I gotta say. Say yes to Yeston.
All right, let's move on. It doesn't surprise me that Nvidia seems to be pushing towards more of like an Apple-like structure where it's mostly a first-party company with Nvidia's like Founders Edition cards. If you saw like during the 30 series, during the whole crypto and chip shortage back in like 2020 through or all the way into like 2022, the Founders Edition cards were basically the only ones that you could get at MSRP or anywhere near it. And it almost just made all the other companies almost look bad in comparison. And the fact that Nvidia didn't really bat an eye when EVGA, one of their most trusted board partners, just left because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. So this doesn't really surprise me that Nvidia is pushing towards this, because really when all these companies are just making cards that aren't that exciting or anything like that, whole design philosophy seems to be mostly solved. Why don't you just do it yourself? The only reason to really have board partners is to diversify in case something goes wrong. Compared to their main competitor, which is AMD, who uses a lot of like open source software and stuff like that, it seems to be that AMD is a more community driven company. So it'd be kind of weird for AMD to just flip the switch and say like, we don't care about our board partners anymore. And that doesn't seem to be the case. Despite all that though, the Founders Edition cards from both of these companies have gotten so much better than just a few generations ago. Even both companies are just working on their Founders Editions so that people will actually buy those ones instead of just being like, oh, you only buy it if you're a collector. You know what I mean? So even though it really does seem like things are just going towards like a more standard kind of process with these graphics cards designs, I do hope that there are still companies that experiment and try to push the boundaries to things, and that hopefully something comes out of it that we actually want, and it isn't just like useless garbage throwing at the wall. And if you guys have seen any really funny or interesting AIB cards, like do tell me in the comments, because there's so much that I haven't even seen or experienced that I'd love to check it out too. I bet there's some absolutely wild stuff, especially with how graphics technology was just like emerging like a few years ago. Like this is pretty new, all things considered. So a lot of experiments have taken place. I'm interested to see what you guys have seen. Other than that though, I'll see you in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace. All right, big shout out to Kamryn though for that part in the video. It was sick. He was hilarious. The rest of this, even though I know I already outroed this, he went on for 3 hours about that. So I took some highlights from that and you can enjoy it for the rest of this video here. Anyways, again, see ya.
Not only is it a powerful card, it definitely beats the GTX 3080. Definitely beats that.
Yeah, and then what about the RTX 3080?
The RTX 3080, it's so good that it's on the same league as the RTX 3080.
That's crazy.
The RTX 3080 had to catch up with the Yeston cards. The Yeston 3080, 10 gigabyte, is $1,099.
It's probably worth more.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
It should be. Let me look up how much is a human kidney work.
I'd sell both.
It's like when Gamer Nexus, speaking of them, they're the GOAT. They're the ones who spread the rumors of the greatness of the card, the deity card.
Yeah, I heard they're the only valid anime card reviewer. Yeah.
Steve looks like an anime fan, actually. He looks like one of us. It's a waifu edition. It has no cooling. You're going to hate something for having bad cooling. Then why do so many people buy PS5? Why do so many people have an Xbox Series, right? And then they're like, it's clearly a scam card. It's probably not any good. Was the 360 a scam when you first bought it? When I got the red ring? No. Guess what? Xbox 360, one of the best consoles of all time.
And you know what would have made it better?
What? Anime? I guarantee you it would have. I don't like to bring up statistics because I'm a down-to-earth guy, but I'm also an A to B man. How many people have a gaming PC? 1.7 billion people worldwide. How many people are anime fans? 2.88 people. 2.88 billion people. Yeston is once again showing why they are innovative in the game, drawing all the anime fans to come to PC. iCraft out here making this phony card, but the iCraft honestly is the closest to mastering the style because not even ASUS can master the style. Look at this.
Bro, they tried. You see, the problem with this card is they made it a furry. It needs to be relatable. It needs to be human.
Yeah. There's no relatability to a furry robot woman.
You hit a lot of strong topics here. Hey, anime is powerful, and with the power of friendship, we can bring together PC gamers, and we can bring new people into the space. Bring anime into PC
with
gaming.
The power of friendship, right? With the power of friendship, we can get more people to play together online. We can single-handedly destroy, eradicate, obliterate the concept of being lonely while gaming. And when it comes to Yeston, not only is there a baddie on the card, it's a good card. So it's both bad and good, the positive and the negative.